Welcome to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Made up of over 3,000 cities, towns, and villages across the United States, the National League of Cities is a collaborative effort of small local governments unifying under one banner to drive change at the federal level. This year, the NLC is celebrating a centennial anniversary with a nationwide bus tour. Let's go to TV20's Alex McTurna with the story.
One of the key stops on this tour was Cleveland, Ohio, a city with a long-standing relationship with the National League of Cities. Cleveland not only participates as a member city, but also has many local government officials actively involved in the organization.
So the National League of Cities is an organization that represents 19,000 communities across the nation. You know, whether it's a large city, a large metroplex, it's a mid-sized city, or small cities and villages. We are an organization that represents them as well as has the members of those communities oftentimes come to Washington, D.C. and help us when we are advocating for things like the bipartisan infrastructure bill or the Inflation Reduction Act or a number of things to where NLC has really been able to push the needle and influence major legislation that is benefiting all the communities across the nation.
Council President Blaine Griffin and Councilman Brian Casey shared their experiences with the NLC, emphasizing the importance of such collaborations for mutual success across the country.
National League of Cities is a great partner. We have been fortunate to have two presidents come from the city of Cleveland, which is why we really wanted to celebrate 100 years here at Cleveland City Hall. The first president that served in the National League of Cities, unfortunately is not here, George Voinovich. He went on to become mayor. He went on to become a United States Senator. He also was the governor of the state of Ohio. The other person that you're going to hear from today is my good friend and colleague and the person that really introduced me to the National League of Cities, as well as many of the council people to the National League of Cities, is our good friend Matt Zone, who's here with us today.
One of the first things I did as a member of Cleveland City Council was became a member of National League of Cities, and I've been off and running, and I couldn't be happier or more proud to serve with National League of Cities along with the rest of my colleagues. And for the past 10 years, I've served on Public Safety and Crime Prevention Committee along with many others, and I've had the privilege of twice being vice chair of that committee. During that time, the Public Safety and Crime Prevention, we've been able to help lead work focusing on bail reform, consent decrees, and police recruitment, issues that are critically important not only to the city of Cleveland, but also in other communities across America. National League of Cities is unique and so important because it brings leaders from big and small cities together to share ideas, best practices, and experiences to build better and safer municipalities.
We all have to recognize that where the rubber hits the road is right here in communities. It's mayors, it's city council members, village council members, city managers, village managers. We're the ones who are most close with the population, with our citizens, and we know what the true needs are. And so to be able to use that voice on Capitol Hill, we believe it resonates more to where these are the true needs. These are the stories we're seeing in our communities. You know, we certainly need change, whether it's legislative change or, new funding tools that can be levied out there in our communities.
For TV20, this is Alex McTurna.
Thanks, Alex. For more information on the National League of Cities and their centennial celebrations, you can visit nlc.org. Ward 5 Councilman Richard Starr welcomed veterans to Ridolph Farms to celebrate Armed Forces Day and to take part in a resource fair.
Oftentimes, those who protect us and serve us do not get the acknowledgement, also get the resources that they need when they're at home. So what we have created over the last 2.5, 3 years has created a committee who works every Tuesday during lunch hours around noon to sit up and figure out what is needed for our veterans.
Councilman Starr said numerous vendors set up on the grounds of Ridolph Farms to provide our veterans with the information and resources they may need.
So today we are able to honor some of our veterans who are here today. We are able to also set up different tents with different organizations that provide resources, whether it's food insecurities, whether it's housing, whether it's job, whether it's employment opportunity, all those different resources that are needed for a veteran. So today is an opportunity for our veterans to come outside, to come in the community and receive the acknowledgement and the support that they desperately need and they also deserve.
Matt Eck, who organized the event, says this event, along with the special ceremony honoring veterans, will always take place on Armed Forces Day.
So we had opening ceremonies for the event, and that's put on by the Red All Green Partnership. And it just every year on Armed Forces Day, we're going to have this resource fair and this ceremony, and it's just a time of reflection and to get everybody together and just honor those people who have done amazing service to our community in order to bring this resource fair to fruition. Also, all their veterans' efforts and currently serving members, all their efforts, and we want to honor them as well as anybody else who's done the work to make today a reality.
Edwin Paris is a veterans liaison at Cleveland City Hall, and he said this fair could never have happened without the support of Red All Farms.
People live in the surrounding areas not aware that they have this all-natural, holistic farm right in the middle of the inner city. So they help support everything we do veterans, and we meet every Tuesday at 1 p.m. here on site at Red All. So it's important for veterans to know that their resources are right here in hand, and we're available, and we just want to give information as well as receive information about veterans.
Michael Johnson, Chief of Staff for Mu Beta Phi Military Fraternity, has a tent set up at the resource fair and has some basic necessities for the veterans to take if needed.
As you can see here at our booth, we've got much needed staples for those veterans who may even be homeless or in between homes or jobs. They need those much needed staples. We've got boots and shoes, which were donated by the Cuyahoga County Veterans Service Commission. We've been honored with the opportunity to make sure that everybody leaves here with something.
Veteran Walter Collins, who served in combat in Vietnam, said it's important for family members to identify changes in their loved ones who come back after serving.
When we're dealing with invisible wounds and invisible injuries, it's important that we get the message to the veteran, but it's more important that we get the veterans message to the veterans' families. The family members are the one that will notice the change. Generally, most of the veterans that we deal with PTSD or thinking suicides or dealing with mental health issues, they do not think they have a problem, and most of them don't seek any help until that behavior act out.
What a great event this was. Really, it truly was. For more information on everything else going on at Red All Farms, visit their website at redall.org. Let's go now to TV20's Alex Picterna at the Cuyahoga County Soldiers and Sailors Monument for their second annual Veterans Mental Health Fair.
For many veterans returning from active duty, they often feel they must navigate processing the difficulties they faced, both physical and mental, on their own. However, the Soldiers and Sailors Monument firmly believes that no veteran should have to face that battle alone.
Many of these stories have some difficult time dealing with that experience in the war. That kind of experience causes these kinds of issues that sometimes it's hard to say you need help, and sometimes it's hard to understand, even in yourself, what's going on. What are these feelings you're having? Why are things so difficult? Why are these interactions with others so difficult? So we've developed this mental health fair to create a casual experience for people to come through and meet with a lot of different organizations in the area that help in different ways.
The mental health fair was born out of an in-depth exhibit on display at the monument about Harvey the dog, who served both as a war dog and a service animal in his life.
Not only was Harvey a war veteran, a combat veteran, and served valiantly as a war dog, but was also a comfort animal to his owner, Daniel, who Captain Stearns suffered from undiagnosed PTSD. And as we developed that story and developed the exhibit behind me, we really felt like it was more of a story that needed something more to it, that this is something that could connect to people today. So we developed that into the mental health fair.
Two of the veteran groups that were present at the mental health fair were Paddle for Heroes and the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association.
Our goal and our mission is, number one, not only to help veterans, but EMS, emergency medical services, LEO, law enforcement officers, our fire department, ambulance crews, that sort of thing. We all see the same type of trauma. So our goal is to get individuals out of this world, believe it or not, and back into nature. And we do that through paddling.
It's important to bring the information out for anybody that might be feeling down, need some information, also to bring attention to suicide. That's probably the worst thing that could happen. And we're not losing vets at 18 and 20-year-olds. We're losing them at 50, 60, and 75-year-old. And that's because they start to retire and they start to think back. There's nobody to talk to. So that's why groups like Combat Vets and the other organizations, the VFWs, the Legions, all of these things are helpful to bring people together so we can talk and make sure that we can get them into the system.
For TV20, this is Alex Picterna.
Thank you, Alex. It may seem like an odd partnership between Cork Community Service and the Cleveland Department of Aging. However, the two entities have come together to help out some of Cleveland's senior citizens. According to Executive Director Paul Clodor, Cork Community Service has been in the community for nearly 40 years.
We are a nonprofit agency that was started in 1985, and the whole purpose of us is to have a program available for the courts in Cleveland and throughout the county to place and manage adult offenders that are ordered to perform community service work as part of their sentence.
Cork Community Service was the brainchild of now retired Judge Ronald Adrian as a way to keep low-level offenders out of jail and serving their sentence in a more constructive way. It is that idea that brought Cork Community Service and the Cleveland Department of Aging together.
I often say it's my favorite project, and I really mean that because it's a very direct way in which offenders can pay back in a positive way, and the residents of Cleveland can have a direct benefit from it.
Frank Isaac Jr. is the chores coordinator for the Cleveland Department of Aging. He oversees the crews and contractors that do services like raking leaves, shoveling snow, and mowing lawns for Cleveland area seniors. He said whenever he needs help, Cork Community Service is quick to answer the call.
Cork Community Service is basically my backup. They help us out a whole lot because some areas we can't hit, they'll always pitch in and help us in some type of way. Today, Cork Community Service is basically cutting one of our seniors in Ward 10, and they're basically going through and making sure, it's not an eyesore on the street for the residents. Most senior residents don't have anybody to help them. Most senior residents, they depend on the Department of Aging to come give them that cut once a month.
Ruben Rodriguez, work crew supervisor for Cork Community Service, says the offenders in the program enjoy doing jobs like this because they can see the real impact they are having on the community and, more importantly, people's lives.
This is an opportunity for them to help out a senior that's possibly within their own community. Sometimes the people that we have serving Cork Community Service, this may be their community, this may be their neighborhood, so they may be helping out a senior within their community. And they understand that that has more of an impact. Not to say that picking up litter doesn't have an impact, but this has more of an impact because it's more a direct person-to-person kind of thing, where we're helping a person versus just dealing with an inanimate object on the ground.
I had a chance to speak with Miss Elaine Tolbert, whose lawn was being tended to by the crew from Cork Community Service.
I have been on this program for at least 40 years, and they do a wonderful job. I don't know what I would do without them because, as you see, I have a lot of yard. I'm a resident of Ward 10, and I'm very thankful for the program.
What a great partnership between Cork Community Service and the Cleveland Department of Aging. If you would like more information on Cork Community Service, visit ccservice.org. Of course, if you want more information on the Department of Aging, visit the City of Cleveland's website at clevelandohio.gov. Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated hosted a remarkable scholarship presentation aimed at fostering the academic dreams of local students. Errol Porter has the details.
Thanks, Dan. Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated has been built on service to the community for many, many years, and today they prove once again just that by honoring local students with college scholarships. The event, attended by fraternity members, community leaders, and proud family members, highlighted the fraternity's commitment to education and leadership.
So the scholarship was created just for us to actually have an impact within our community. So we have a fundraising event, a party with a purpose, and we use those proceeds to give scholarships to deserving men within our community because we feel that education is a way that we can alter the trajectory of a lot of young men's lives and have a big impact in the city of Cleveland.
Among the recipients was Armin Grays, a senior at Orange High School. Overwhelmed with joy, Armin expressed the hard work it took for him to receive this scholarship.
Long nights, staying up, taking the most AP classes as I can. And I mean, it's all about networking. You know, I'm surrounded by amazing friends that push me to work harder, stay up late, and do the studying I need to do to succeed.
The scholarship program, a cornerstone initiative of Alpha Phi Alpha, aims to support outstanding students who have demonstrated academic excellence, leadership, and community service.
We're very proud of their efforts, and we're going to financially support them as they chase their dreams. You know, somebody poured into us. It's our job to pour into them. That's what this thing called life is about. Giving back, making sure that you're pulling someone up so they can do the same thing for the next generations behind us.
Wow, I'm very blessed to receive this scholarship. A lot of hard work and time put into this. I got to give thanks to God Almighty, of course, and my parents that always had a high bar for me.
The ceremony also featured inspiring speeches and a keynote address by Dr. Warren Morgan, who emphasized the importance of giving back to the community and striving for excellence.
I told them that I was a scholarship recipient when I was a high school senior, and so it not only launched me becoming a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, but also supported me to my career today. We're a service organization. Everything we do is about giving back and about leadership, but the highest form of leadership is being a servant. And so if you're not able to serve and work with others, work with the community, you're not a true leader. And so Alpha taught me that years ago, and that continues to reign true for me today.
Wow, what a great, awesome, and moving event. And thanks to Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated, these young men's college experience just got a little bit easier. I'm Earl Porter, reporting for TV20. We are Cleveland.
Thanks, Errol. It's wonderful to see such a positive community involvement. Congratulations to all the scholarship recipients, and we wish them the best in their academic pursuits. TV20's Alex Picterna was at the yearly Asian Heritage Festival right in the heart of Cleveland's Asiatown neighborhood. Let's go to Alex with this story.
With an estimated 50,000 guests in attendance over the weekend celebration, the Asian Heritage Festival had humble beginnings in 2010 as a one-day event to celebrate the diverse Asian heritage within the city of Cleveland.
This is our 15 years. We started only one-day event. About 10,000 people showed up, and then we decided let's get bigger. Let's do it a whole weekend. And that's where we are now. We have about 47,000 to 50,000 people attending every year. It's very exciting. And the weather is good right now, so we are going to have more people.
The event covers the entirety of the Asian Plaza and surrounding streets with the highlights of Asian culture. Authentic cuisine and drinks, performances across 2 stages, from dragon dances to K-pop, to activities that all ages could enjoy.
We're going to have 2 stages of performances, a bunch of different vendors all over the places, and over 30 food vendors and food trucks throughout the whole area. So I want everyone to have a great time, and that's all that matters.
Mayor Justin Bibb made it a point to say none of this would be possible without the long-standing dedication and relationship between the city of Cleveland and its Asian communities.
First of all, it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of collaboration to have 15 years of the Cleveland Asian Festival. So let's give our founders a big hearty round of applause for their amazing work. We are sitting in the historic Asiatown neighborhood of our great city, led by one of our best members of City Council, Councilwoman Stephanie House Jones, who's in the house. Give her a round of applause as well. And as you all know, the diversity of our city is what makes us a strong city. And the Asian community is at the bedrock of what makes Cleveland a great city as well, too. So not just today, every day, let's celebrate the contributions of the Asian American community, what they've done for our great city. So let's give that a round of applause as well as we can. So I'm looking forward to getting really full on a lot of good food today, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care. God bless.
For TV20, this is Alex Picterna.
Thanks, Alex. A special movie premiere took place that not only promised to entertain, but also to educate and raise awareness about a critical health issue affecting millions of people worldwide. TV20's Errol Porter has more with this story.
Thanks, Dan. Excitement was building for the premiere of a new movie written and directed by TV20's own Cornell Hubert Calhoun III, dedicated to raising awareness about lupus. The film, titled Blooz 4 in Early Autumn, delves into the struggles and triumphs of those living with this often misunderstood autoimmune disease. The red carpet was rolled out and guests were arriving in bunches, including local actors, political figures, and lupus advocates. Blooz 4 in Early Autumn is not just a film, it's a heartfelt project created to be a voice for those who have a personal connection to the disease.
We're in for a great time. I'm here to support family and friends. I believe it's a great cause. Lupus Month is very important to me and my family, and I would love to see what we have in store with the movie. Can't wait.
Well, I'm excited to see Calhoun's work. I've gone to his plays, and this is, I guess, a short movie he's made. I've never seen a movie that he's done, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Cal is always dealing with things that are relevant and where people have experience with, they can identify with. He does that in his plays, and now I guess he's doing it with the movies.
This film was made possible by a grant from Cleveland's own Caramoo House.
Well, the Room in the House residency at Caramoo House is an important piece to give individual artists. Individual artists apply, they submit a proposal, then an independent group of people evaluate the proposals, and then we grant them $5,000 to then implement a project or expand on a project that's already underway. But it's important that individual artists be able to take these funds and create and produce and allow their imaginations to run free.
The film's two main characters spoke about what the film meant to them and its impact.
It was an interesting role because of the purpose of it, because it was to support lupus. And so that kind of gave it a different feel for me, and it was kind of an emotional role.
Did it hit home for you?
Yeah, due to the fact of that, yeah, because I know a couple of people who suffer from lupus and MS and have those type of issues. And so I'm kind of in that arena a lot.
I never did something that I thought was very impactful to people that's watching, especially with lupus. And I think it's going to be very great for them to see it.
As the audience took their seats, the anticipation was intense. The film was not only informative, but it also was inspiring and evoked empathy.
Our goal was to make people aware of lupus, not to make any money. This film, this play, is dedicated to Dr. Yvonne House and her daughter Chelsea House, who's now become like my adopted daughter.
This was a night of stars and stories, but more importantly, it was a night dedicated to hope and healing. I'm Errol Porter reporting for TV20. We are Cleveland.
Thanks, Errol. A powerful initiative indeed. We hope the film Blooz 4 in Early Autumn sparks more conversations and actions towards lupus awareness and research. Families gathered for a day filled with history, fun, and America's favorite pastime. Now let's check in with Errol Porter at the Baseball Heritage Museum for more on this story.
Thanks, Dan. I'm Errol Porter reporting for the City of Cleveland TV20. In 2014, Councilwoman Fannie Lewis had a vision for this plot of land here on East 66th and Lexington Avenue here in the Huff area. Today it stands as a staple and a monument to the rich and historic baseball heritage here in Cleveland, Ohio. The Baseball Heritage Museum, located in the historic League Park, opened its doors to families for an entire day of baseball-themed activities.
Today, we're really celebrating the Baseball Heritage at League Park, but Rocket Mortgage and Zimmer Real Estate Group are doing a family fun day today. So everything is free. You come out, we've got home run derby, we've got balloons, we've got hot dogs. It's a lot of fun and a perfect day for an event like this.
With Rocket Mortgage being one of the main sponsors, they were in attendance with some special offers for future home buyers.
We're promoting a grant through Rocket Mortgage of up to $7,500 for home buyers to use towards down payment and just make home buying more affordable. So trying to get the word out and have a great time.
There were also guided tours of the museum where visitors learned about monumental moments in baseball that took place at League Park and the significant contributions of African American players to the sport.
This is an iconic ball. This ball was hit by Babe Ruth in 1928 for a home run. A gentleman from Lakewood, Ohio was the one who retrieved it. He later on had Babe Ruth sign it, but not only signed by Babe Ruth, in later years his son, who lives currently in Lakewood, later on had Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Bob Feller, Herb Score, Gary Bell, and Vic Wirtz also signed. So it's an iconic ball. There's no other ball like it in the world. In this display, we have the jerseys from various teams that played here at League Park and in the Negro Leagues. We have our very own Cleveland Buckeyes, who won a Negro League championship here in 1945. And of course, some of the other the Kansas City Monarchs is the most famous team that played in the Negro Leagues.
This unique event brought together baseball enthusiasts of all ages to celebrate the rich history of the sport in a fun and educational environment.
This is a wonderful exhibit. I'm so pleased with how they refurbished the park, and I want to give special thanks to my junior high school friend Bobby Zimmer, who he and his father started this all in their jewelry store on East 4th Street.
We want to try to encourage more community events. This is open to the community, and we think it's very important for the museum to be part of what's happening in the Huff neighborhood, Ward 7, and in the region.
Wow, what a great way to celebrate the summer and baseball here in Cleveland, Ohio. I can still hear the sounds and the cheers of Babe Ruth hitting a home run over that wall and Satchel Paige getting some historic strikeouts right here on this corner. I'm Earl Porter, reporting for TV20. We are Cleveland.
Thanks again, Errol. Wow, it's great to see events like these bringing families together and keeping the love for baseball thriving. If you haven't visited the Baseball Heritage Museum, this summer is the perfect time. Finally, prom isn't just for high school juniors and seniors, it's also for our friends of the four-legged variety. Here's more with TV20's Errol Porter.
Thanks, Dan. It's a great sunny day here in Cleveland, Ohio, and I found an overload of cuteness here at the 2024 Puppy Prom. The third annual Puppy Prom took place at Taps and Tails, a place where dogs and their owners can have a good time.
Yep, we have our pup prom today, and all the dogs are dressed up, and it's a really fun event. So we have a very high-energy Australian Shepherd that we love to spend time with, and we thought what better idea to have a dog park where the dogs are having fun, as well as a bar where their owners can have fun too.
Jordan Hamrick, general manager Taps and Tails, said Taps and Tails is more than just your average dog park.
So we do doggy daycare. We opened up real early for that, make sure everybody has a leash-free place where they could run around, get their zoomies out during the day. And then we open up our bar around 4 o'clock most days, noon on the weekends. And then anyone who loves dogs can come hang out and love the dogs.
The Pooches showed up ready to party, dressed in their best doggy dresses and tuxedos. Sammy Bolden and her dog Hazel are enjoying the scenery and the fun vibes.
So we love a theme, and I had to go all out. Hazel was up for it.
Your first puppy prom? Or you've been done
Yes, this is my first puppy prom. Yes.
I think she might win for best dressed today.
I'm hoping she's queen. Let's hope she takes home the crown.
Oh my gosh, I love that. This is like my Disneyland. I love coming here. This is my happy place. It's so much fun. Our dog loves it. She gets to burn off a ton of energy. And everybody is so relaxed, and the dogs, they pretty much always get along, and it's nice that it's 21 and over.
The real secret thing is if you can come during the week, they don't open till 4, but you can come here and there's like a sea of dogs waiting to see their owners, and it's like you and the dogs, and they all just they're like, oh, is that my owner? Is that my owner? And they are just so happy to see everybody.
Hey, what a great time here had at the 2024 Puppy Prom here at Taps and Tails, right here in 1901 Train Avenue on the west side of Cleveland. Hey, if you want to enjoy the west side and you want to take your dog out and have some fun, make it out to Taps and Tails. I'm Errol Porter, reporting for TV20. We are Cleveland.
Thank you, Errol. For more information on Taps and Tails, visit their website at tapsandtailsdogbar.com. We are constantly uploading new content on our TV20 Cleveland YouTube page, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. You can also connect with TV20 Cleveland on your favorite social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X. Thanks for watching TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Be sure to stay tuned for more on TV20. We are Cleveland.